Bunch of amateurs.
It's just a minor mistake.
Let's get
into it. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, well, hello, everyone, and welcome to My Whiskey Den, your favorite public access whiskey review show where craft whiskey is king. How is everyone doing tonight? Mike, Mitch, how are you feeling?
Living that dream. There we go.
I am feeling very excited.
I am living Mitch's dream.
I am living Mitch's dream. I think I might only live half of Mitch's dream this evening, and we might live half of Mitch's dream next Monday night. I think that's what we're going to have to do.
I would recommend that.
Living Mitch's erotic dreams.
Ooh, that's not a fun place to
be. We'll set that for later.
That's right.
Hey, Renita's breaking in a washer and dryer. Congratulations. I know that sounds dumb. Mitch, you're doing the same thing, kind of, sort of.
Actually, I have those stupid washer and dryers that play a song when they're done, and it just played the song. So it was like, and it's like,
that was gonna be like a game. Someone wins samples. I thought maybe during the show.
If you could have it like program your own song, that'd be sweet. Why is it playing Stranglehold? Like, let it finish. It's not done yet.
That is excellent. Well, tonight we are here to talk about 451 spirits that Mitch traveled to in Columbus, Ohio. Mm-hmm. And he sent us, I think, pretty much everything they've ever made. I'm not quite sure, but
I didn't buy their vodka, and I think I forgot to send one of their rums. So everything other than that.
Son of a bitch. I'm out.
God damn. Yeah. The rum, it looked good. Well, we have everything else to try that they've made. So
yeah, let's do it anyway.
Send your complaints to Wettle@gmail.com.
I still love that email. But before we go further, I think we should talk about the Bar Cart Co-op.
I think we have to talk about the Bar Cart Co-op.
I think there's some stuff going on in the Bar Cart Co-op as well.
Okay.
There's some shows.
All right. We are proud members of the Bar Cart Co-op, which is a collection of friends who create content for the whiskey and other distilled spirits public. The Bar Cart Co-op YouTube and Facebook pages have information about upcoming and past special shows, which happen about every quarter. From blind tastings to distiller panels to discussions of special collaborations and the usage of unique grains, the Bar Cart Co-op has educational and fun episodes for your enjoyment. This quarter's special show is the Absinthe Show with Brian Cushing from the Victorian Barroom and Alan Bishop, who those two have been working on a documentary on Swiss County absinthe for about 3 years or so. And that is up on YouTube, which we will throw that link up on here later. And then Jim Martin from Key West Trading Company. And Jim has a couple of absinthes that Alan helped create. At least as far as the recipe, did not distill, but helped create them. So this should be a pretty interesting conversation. And as always, moderated by Kevin Rose. But Alan's involved, so we don't know if Kevin's going to get to moderate. So, and then we have the oldest show in the group, which is Distillers Talk, which is hosted by Alan Bishop and Christy Atkinson. It's a conversation with people from distilleries and distillery adjacent that gets into the weeds with their interviews. New episodes arrive at the end of the work week. And if you don't find that to be nerdy enough, check out One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute, which is where Alan answers any questions about distilling and often puts them to the test, which could be grains, mash bills, equipment, and methodology. New episodes come out randomly, so subscribe. And then we have Bourbon Turntable, where they mix the love of music with the love of music with love of whiskey. I'll get there. They have conversations with musicians, writers, distillery folks, and common folks about music and whiskey. It releases every Wednesday on all your platforms, including YouTube. I do not know what the upcoming show is, but should be a good interview. There's several bands I know coming up, and then also a blind with a brand ambassador for Beam, a little small company called Beam. That should be pretty interesting. Then we have If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything, which is a show about the spirits and the paranormal among us, as well as the unexplained and the very spiritual. Subscribe on Spotify to get the first 3 seasons and the 4th season, which is in progress right now. And then we have, last but not least, we have Mr. David Levine. David likes to do great interviews with people that are in the industry and just outside the industry. He also does really good reviews of whiskey with a good rating system. So please check him out. And as we say, David does all the things that we won't do.
That's true.
Like, be professional.
Well, I mean, you're asking a lot now.
Where's the fun of that?
Yeah.
We couldn't coin Malort hole if we were professional.
Yes, we could.
Yeah, sadly, someone probably just did. But that's okay. We know where it all started from.
Yeah.
But what brought you to this distillery, Mitch? Because I don't want to say rarely do you buy this much from a distillery, but
you're new here, Patrick.
I am not good at that. So, in fact, Morgan and I, Morgan's from Ohio. We had to go up to Ohio for some family stuff. And anytime family stuff is involved with anyone, my immediate thought is, where can we get some alcohol? So she agreed to go along with that. And she was like, let's do a distillery tour. So we were trying to find a distillery that was open, that had spots for a tour. And the few that we thought of wouldn't work. And then I remembered I had picked up a bottle of absinthe the last time I was in Ohio. And I was like, from this way, it's called 451 Distilling. And I was like, I don't know what the significance of those 3. Whatever, I'll look it up. And I looked up the website, and their website.
Pretty cool.
Cool, not super informative. So I was like, I'm not sure if they're open, but we might be able to get married there if they are. Is kind of the vibe I'm getting. And it is absolutely bonkers. So like Alan likes to joke that he's next to a go-kart track. They are in a strip mall next to a veterinarian clinic. Like, it is very well hidden, and not the front of the strip mall. You have to go in the back. So you park where like there's not enough room, or at the vet if they're closed. And then the sign, not super big. Hours of operation, not posted super well either. But you go through the door and you're like, what the hell have I just encountered? Because the master distiller is also an artist. And I mean that in kind of the Renaissance style. He makes his own art. He is in a band, or might be the entire band, given the amount of musical instruments that I saw at the distillery. He has his first ever still there, which is a pressure cooker with like a rubber hose coming out of the top of it, as well as what he's using now. He has a lovely pot still, and then he's got barrels lined around the wall. He's got his art everywhere, and then he's got other people's art on the wall, and then it's insane. Not only that, he does his tastings off of an organ.
Please clarify what kind of organ you're talking about here.
Like an electric keyboard with multiple sets of keys.
All right.
So like, I feel like if he wants to, he could just be like, "You having fun here, guys?" Dun, dun, dun.
You did mention Ohio, and I thought that could go anywhere.
Yeah. So that guy is. If you, how do I? If Alan had been born in Ohio, he might have been 451 Distillery. is probably a good way of putting that. But he wasn't. And also, this guy didn't cuss as much. Yeah.
All right.
All right, I like that.
But so yeah, they make a lot. It's really fun. So some of the stuff we have is their core lineup, and some of the stuff we have tonight is their experimental lineup. So tonight is going to be the barrel aged stuff, and then we'll do the clears and like botanical next time. But
which is another 6 to 8.
Something like that. But starting out with his barrel aged rum called Pipe Dream, I think would be the way to start it out.
All right, I'm gonna pour a little more of this. I might have had a sip before I should have, because we took so long getting into drinking. I'm sorry, I needed to drink something. But I love that we are starting out on something called Pipe Dream.
And it is called Pipe Dream because, like, kind of going legal and, doing all this stuff was the pipe dream, right?
Mitch, question for you?
It is not. That was Alan's absinthe.
Okay.
So that one is Fascination Street. Absolutely amazing. You should buy it from Alan if he's got any more of it.
Spirits of French Lake. Is there right? Or he still might be able to get anything. I don't know, unless he's selling it out of the trunk of his car or something.
That would be illegal.
It's the bed of his truck. That makes it all the difference. Right?
Yeah. Okay. I gotta tell you, so the nose on this is, so when you say it's a barrel aged rum, and also you think to be stereotypical, a lot of smaller distilleries that make a rum, it's just hardcore sugar on the nose, and this is not. It's like vanilla and citrus, boom boom, and then it's got like a buttery pastry thing too.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say there's a buttery caramel, but the vanilla part is neat because it's. I don't even know if it's not extract level vanilla. Like where you put the drop in. It's like smelling vanilla bean.
This reminds me of that Cuban rum, and I'm a huge fan of using a rum in place of a vanilla in baking, especially if that rum has a big vanilla note to it. This would be killer for some making some cookies.
Yeah. Vanilla, and then it edges. It's like a kind of a creme brulee, kind of like torched vanilla, a little torched caramel on the edge. Light though. You know what I mean? Like medium notes. Interesting. Not super aggressive though. You you can get in here to try to find stuff, and it's not a problem.
It is only 90 proof. Okay. So like it is definitely designed to be like an approachable rum. It's distilled from molasses, so I really like it because when you get in there, there's a little bit of darkness in there balancing that sugar out, right? Like it's kind of because it's in a new American oak barrel, so it picks up those smoky notes from that barrel.
Have you ever had dark vanilla instead of just like normal vanilla? Okay, sorry, it's like a baking thing, and on the flavor here, you can taste that like level of difference at least on the sides of my tongue and the back of my cheeks. I taste that a little bit here.
For lack of a better term, because I'm also words are going to come really hard for me today for some reason. They have all day long. It's been one of those freaking days. It tastes like it's been cooked.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Like, what if you like had flame torch the outside of like a Werther's
Yeah, it's just like put it lightly in the pan, just enough to bring the heat up, and it just tastes like it just released some flavor on there. There's a little bit of warmth, caramelization, things like that. And again, it's not so candy sweet. I like getting slapped around by a big sweet, rum sometimes. That's kind of fun. But this is like pour this in a glass and drink it rum. Like you don't have to mix it with anything rum.
I was going to say, I don't think you almost want to, because it's not aggressive from us.
No.
I don't know how it would do in a cocktail. The baking thing I like more. I think a lot of people are still used to the spiced rums than other ones, but this, on its own is nice.
And an old fashioned.
Ooh, the buttery notes in that would be really cool.
They would bring out more of the little bit of citrus hits in there, just bring a little bit more. Yeah.
That actually, I like that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to find somewhere use like a lemon or a lime in it too. Yeah. How about this? I might just try this later with a spritz of a lime or a lemon on top of it, like that. Just a little accent, nothing crazy, just to spice it up.
So this fella's whole thing is innovation. He basically was like, I love, the industry and the spirits and everything, but you don't have to just push the envelope. You can get entirely outside of the box. And this is like slightly pushing the envelope. Everything else he does is him punting the box away. I'm going to be 100% honest. And everything he does is really good because of it.
I'm getting like a mint on the finish. I don't know if that's something I had before or anything in the day.
So his original mint or his original rum is like a mint rum. It's kind of designed to be almost a mojito.
Okay.
As a rum. I don't think it's... So I didn't ask if he put mint in this rum. I don't
know, but I'm getting like a tint of that on the finish, and off of that, I could see how that might fit more in a mojito. But it's mostly on the finish, not in the drink for me. Yeah, it hits with a little bit of the spice, a tinge of nutmeg, and a little bit of mint. That was all in the middle. This is more complex than I thought it was originally. Hitting this like second or third time, well, fifth maybe time in. This is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I dig it.
Just ice. You know what I mean? I don't know what else. You don't, like I said, minimal play. I don't know. A little rim on the glass maybe. All right, cool. Pipe Dream is a success so far. I like this. So
this is probably the closest we're going to get to normal. Just throwing that out there.
All right.
All right, I'm going to set that one off to the side.
So because I forgot to send the other rum, I'm pretty sure. Moving on to whiskey.
Well, what was the other rum? Now you got me.
Writer's Block.
Writer's Block. What was that? Was the minty one?
Yeah, that was like the mojito rum. So it's a clear rum.
Okay.
So I'll have to include it the next time.
It's all right. There's a slew of stuff over there.
So up next is Bone Shaker.
Bone Shaker.
So this is Bone Shaker. I probably should have held up Pipe Dream.
So
he designs all of his own.
Well, hold on here. Let me get.
Right, there we go.
No.
That's you. All right.
Yeah, cool labels, I thought.
So he designs all his own labels. Like he is an artist. Like he did these. So I love all of his little things, right? We've got Pipe Dream. This is the rum, right? He's serving in front of a nuclear reactor. And then Bone Shaker is literally, like a Victorian gentleman, possibly a skeleton. Yep, it's a Victorian skeleton on, one of those giant two-wheeled bicycles with zero suspension, aka would shake your bones.
You know what? And that was the name of I think that was the nickname of the actual bicycle as well, too. But what I like about that is they have a different feel to them. I mean, they have. I was almost worried some people go too far into the beer label stuff where it gets people think it's artsy, but it's almost more comic booky. You can tell that that has a different, more professional feel. It's kind of like for me when you see like Keith Haring's work, that's like kind of comic booky, but also when you see it, you recognize it. You recognize the art part of it and how it's leaning that direction automatically. That's what I'm getting off of his. The two you showed there, they're neat.
Right.
Ooh.
So this whiskey is built from the ground up. So it has a super non-traditional mash bill. And I asked him about it, and he went, shit, man, I've got it written on the wall somewhere. I'd just take a picture of it. So here's the recipe. It is 200 pounds of rolled barley, 175 pounds of flaked rye, 100 pounds of malted barley, 100 pounds of rolled oats, 25 pounds of chocolate malt, and 25 pounds of roasted barley.
It's the rolled oats. I can smell that in here.
Okay.
Oh, there
was a funk note.
Yes.
Pat, I see if you agree with me. There was a funk note that just comes across like real quick. And you know what it reminds me of? The Green Goddess.
Ooh, hold on. Now I'm gonna have to reassess.
Was that
this? You've never
Yes.
had the. You haven't had the Green Goddess. I
didn't have the Green Goddess, but
no, you didn't.
But there was a funk.
Yeah.
it would not
Okay.
surprise me if there was some Green Goddess involved in the making of this.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, that funk edge note to that, because I was getting it coming in, I was trying to hit it because it's not like the hay note that when you get a little bit of that funk. It's not that. It's a little bit greener. Yeah,
But I will
very
say,
similar, Mike.
Taste does not taste like that.
I wouldn't think so.
As someone who's distilled, he made nightmare juice to distill, right? Because it's got rye and barley in it, rye and oats in it, and it's like if you showed this to like Alan, he'd probably be like, "That looks super interesting," and I never, ever, ever want to touch distilling that or cleaning that.
So this is just a whiskey, American whiskey?
So this is an American whiskey because it could be considered an American malt because it's got four types of barley in it.
Yeah, I was going to say,
even though not all of it is malted barley.
There is a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
It's screwing. This is shutting down my brain up on the front right now because I'm having to focus on it too much. You know what I mean?
So his recipe is 625 pounds of grain and 350 of them are barley. So it's technically a malt. That being said, he also does a Solera aging process. So he puts it in a small new oak barrel for 6 months and then adds those to his larger barrels and then drains out of those larger barrels.
Okay. I'm glad you said that because at first it would be like this came out of a new oak because you get a little bit of that. You get more of that on the finish, but it's, like just that little bit of the edge where it feels like heat on the side. That might be a new barrel, but it's not. Wow.
What's the ABV on this?
I believe 90 again. Yep.
Okay.
45%.
Was there chocolate malt in this?
Yep. 25 pounds.
Yep. Okay. You get that in there for sure. That's in the mid range. Like you said, it's a weird malty experience because
So he basically
it's like a weird dense. I don't want to call it like a marble bread, but it kind of like a malty, marbly bread where it's like you're biting and you're hitting layers as you're going through, and something else keeps popping up, but it's in that thicker, heavier note. Very chewy. Afterwards. Sorry, go ahead. Chocolate setting. This is neat.
Yeah, so I mean, he 100% built this from the ground up, right? Like, this is not like any mash bill you've ever had, and I haven't really heard of people going from small barrels to big barrels to get the flavor profile they wanted.
Cheers, Whiskey Shaman. Randall, I believe.
The chocolate's chocolate. It's like chocolate powder, though.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of chocolate malt in there. It's
No, but
just enough to give it that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets dry, and I mean, unlike Deer Hammer with prevalent with chocolate malt, and it's fantastic. This it's dry. It's like a dry chocolate.
It's what, right? Like I told you, that rum was as close as it got to normal.
Well, this is it. It's not that it's not normal, but I don't know if calling it a whiskey almost seems unfair. I mean, I mean, calling it a malt would be just slightly more accurate, because I think it gears you towards what you're going to expect. You're searching more in that realm.
So the flavors on it, it reminds me if you've, like one of our favorite places in the world, Aldi, and you're like, oh, I will try this holiday candy, and it's some sort of a chocolate covered wafer. And then it's just like some odd thing with like chocolate with a vanilla cream in there, and
a bit of orange.
Yeah, as I say, maybe it's kind of like an orange cookie, the orange wafers, like the Keebler things or whatever. Actually, hell, those Keebler wafers. If you took Keebler wafers and you sprinkled cocoa powder on it,
I can handle that.
As one fat kid does. Don't judge.
Mm.
But right, to me, it's simultaneously fruity, baking spice, chocolatey.
The fruit's weird because it gets dominated, and it's almost like an apricot lemon. Like there's a titch of citrus, there's a little titch of stone fruit, but it's brighter. And then the chocolate, and like you said, the wafer, almost like it's not a molasses cookie. I can't call it that, but it's just,
no. It's
like density of that. When you bite into like one of those cookies, you get it's a denser, it's a smaller cookie. It's a dense drink. It's an interesting ride. You know what I mean?
It really is. This is one of those hero whiskeys where you sit down and you think about it. Yeah. Very hard to put that in the background.
And we did that number 2. So
I'm telling you, this isn't. It gets weirder from here.
All right, fair enough.
Starting normal.
Let me pour a little bit in here.
Yeah.
There we go. Damn.
So, next, moving on to the experimental series.
Wait, before we go, for 1 second. Most recently, what we've had sort of vaguely a little bit reminds me of was that Maltster's Reserve from Northern Waters. I have that one out here. But where it had kind of that chocolate, this one I think had more of a peanut butter note than what this did. But I mean, it was actually really rich maltiness. It was bold in the way it was bold in that direction. That is the closest thing I think I've had to this. Texturally and stuff. So neat.
Still super great.
Yes.
Only being 2 into this and having seen the bottles on the website and stuff, the artwork on the bottles are right now lining up with what we're having that's in the bottles. It's like it's like it's a vibe where it's just creative. And
I mean, honestly, I think he probably, is drinking the stuff while he makes the label, right? Like that's the feeling I get from him.
Well, usually if you're being creative in the manner of putting enough time and attention to detail into putting unique grains and profiles together like that, he
sent y'all some of the
cares
pictures.
about some of the other stuff. This is, he's going to care about it both ways. That's awesome, and you can tell.
You can feel the passion coming off of him when you talk to him. But up next, experimental series Rice Whiskey. So this and the next two came about because of COVID. Also, that is him. So he is. He kind of looks like that minus the glasses when I saw him. Also, not a tie, right?
Yeah, I can do. Oh, sorry, Mitch.
Sorry. So that's the master distiller / owner / everything.
What was that one show on like the Discovery Channel where they tried to break everything?
Mythbusters?
Yeah, he looks like that one dude from Mythbusters. On the bottle there. On the bottle.
So this is in Columbus. They had a sake brewery that went out of business, and they had some sake that was ready to go but hadn't been bottled yet. And since they kind of declared bankruptcy and nobody wants to buy like a tote of sake from someone going out of business, they were like, hey man, like, do you want to distill this? And he was like, yeah, I want to distill that. So this is distilled sake.
Awesome.
Which technically makes it a rice whiskey because this is 100% rice.
Cool.
And it is in a new charred oak 53-gallon barrel.
Ooh. And huge difference from the last one, man. You're left turning off. You know what I like about this? This is a neat way because this is much lighter and brighter. So I was gonna give you shit, but nice choices in the order right now because this really changes it up after how thick that one was.
So the nose does not do this justice. When you taste it, I'll give you my
Sorry, I'm looking.
But I don't want to lead y'all too far.
No, I'm not. I was gonna say it's a little bit flatter on the nose.
Yeah, and this is
at least
so 50%.
All right.
It smells like a light sake almost. Like light. It's on the edge of effervescent, but it almost fades away there too. So
Oh, it's so good.
Oh shit, that mouthfeel.
mm-hmm.
Wait till you hit drink 3, 4, and 5. Oh.
Dude, it's like a creamy.
For me, it is strawberries and cream. Like, wildly.
I'm just talking about the coverage of it. I'm not tasting it right now, the cream part, but I mean like, wow, that's in there. Holy cow. That I know.
Heavy on the cream.
Yeah.
Like very heavy on the cream.
And it fades pretty quick from the edges here, man. Way faster than I would have expected. On, like the way it's clinging to the top of my tongue. The top of my tongue tastes like it has like a candy coating on it.
But it's got a textured mouthfeel to it. That's the other thing too. It's got texture.
I was gonna say it's almost like having a titch of sushi. Sounds weird, but like you said, it's chewier. It's
What the hell?
Fucked up.
It's wild.
I hope he doesn't mind I just said that, but this is one that's fucked up.
I bought 2 bottles of this because I loved it so much.
just as much pay attention to a whiskey because it's so subtle. But to combat being subtle after going after the malty one we just had is pretty impressive.
Rice gluten. Not quite. But if you've ever made sake, it's wild, right? Because you'll have like rice and water, and then after a certain point, it's just gone. Like there just is no rice. It's just thick water.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Also, it's weird. It almost tastes like some like cotton candy on the inside of it or something. Like it's light, sugary at a point, or I would, you'd normally call molasses or caramel, but it's almost like a cotton candy sugar. It's really light. I don't know. Hold on, we're gonna do this because I see where this is going.
I've smuggled this in places to drink that were serving free alcohol because I liked it that much.
Where?
I can't say.
Okay, that's fine. I don't want to.
Because who was watching was there.
Yeah, that's fine. It's all good. Rice pudding, kind of.
I will say that allegedly, Solomon Scott rye whiskey paired very well with Dune Part 2.
I can see that.
Allegedly.
I don't know about rice pudding, but it is. Yeah, you do.
It's like a starchy texture.
Yeah. I don't know if it gets to that level of creaminess, but it's right. It's in between there. But it's not like bad starchy. I don't know what to tell you. It's like comfort food starchy.
There's just a legit texture to it.
That is neat. I'm digging. Okay, so that's experiment 1. Okay, does this experiment ever get done again is the question.
Unfortunately, I don't think it does. I don't think any of these do because these came about thanks to COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one would be the Ex Choco experimental whiskey. So this is a distilled beer, and it is from Brewdog. It is the Choco Libre Stout that he distilled, right? But when they closed all the bars down, they had all these kegs, right, that were going bad. And they were like, hey, I mean, you can have them. Like, we need the kegs back, but, like the beer is bad.
You want to take them?
So he took a bunch of their beers that he thought would make very interesting whiskeys and distilled them. And this is the chocolate stout.
Excellent. Well, I think there's a helicopter going by, so I'm going to mute myself for 2 seconds.
I don't know what Pat did, but apparently it is enough to get 3 stars in Grand Theft Auto. Because that's when the helicopters come out. 4 stars is tanks, so be careful.
See, it's only at 3. Someone launched the Alert 5 fighters. I don't know who that is.
And what's the ABV on this one? Just
this
I'm
one
writing
is
all stuff down.
103.
And what type of beer is in here?
This is a chocolate stout. It is a Mexican chocolate stout. And I don't know what makes it a Mexican chocolate stout.
Let's have a little different spicy chocolate, maybe?
It could be Mexican chocolate. They could have put chilies in it. I don't know. They could have called it cerveza. All sorts of things.
Excuse me. Sorry about that, everyone. I'm not a big beer guy, so
I'm not either, and I liked this one, and Morgan liked the next one.
I have liked other stouts in the past where something has been done to it, though. But
I am amazed that Morgan has not come down here with like a glass to be like.
We're all rooting for it.
I mean,
there is
unfortunately, she was like, "I'm tired, so I'm gonna watch y'all from bed. So unfortunately, I don't know if whiskey beats nap time tonight.
Oh, who knows?
I don't know. She should have
I get like almost
pre-gamed the nap, brought one with her.
like a grapefruit note in this.
I mean, so yeah, I do get
Yeah,
a weird fruit.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. There's a fruit, but I can't peg it. But it's sweet, and there's a
No, I lean towards grapefruit. I mean, it's hoppy, but it's not
It's
full on
tart.
hops. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I was getting. I was trying to find this like tart fruit. I couldn't peg. Okay, I'll get here with the flavor.
To me, this tastes like hot chocolate that you put in a toasted oak barrel.
For some reason, I'm getting a little bit of like black liquor. I'm getting some type of black licorice note in this. Or, yes, I don't know. Hold on. I don't know. There's something. I got weird chocolate. I got something else, and then I got a rush of something else that blew up halfway through. So,
Yeah, I had my note. I had high alcohol hot chocolate.
I'm getting a minty note in this. Like a spearmint. I don't know. But like almost like an agave texture. Syrupy. Oh, I poured the right one. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm off on this one, but the chocolate.
There's definitely other stuff in there, but like for me, the finish is just
that's where you
toasted
get
oak and hot chocolate.
Well, that's where you get most of the chocolate from. I think is for me is in the finish. I don't see most, but I mean that's where it comes through more prevalent. Yeah, I guess the finish I think is the most I like the best of all of that one. The other ones maybe were a touch more mind blowing at the second. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, it's those oak spices that kind of throw me off at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Not in a bad way. It's just like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, it's a little like the oak and a little minty. I don't know. Oop, I'm trying to find another glass down here. All right, here we go.
Morgan's joining us for this, and
Oh, which one?
the next experimental, the X.
All right.
The X
Put stuff down.
See?
I'm gonna get to my page
Here
here.
we go.
All right, I'm pulling a little more of this one in. I like the excitement here.
What was the ABV on that Choco one?
103.
Okay, that's right. You said that.
What?
All right, we're doing the poll.
That sounds interesting. An interesting use of Garrison Brother barrel.
That's an expensive finish barrel.
I would assume.
I got excited. They got my email from Sealbox, and it's like, hey, we got the Garrison Brothers Bal Maria. And it's holy balls.
What was the damage?
189.
Okay.
Wow.
Is it a 375 or is it a 375?
I don't know. They lost me at 189.
Well, that's what I mean. That's happened in the past. That's what's scary.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
That's right.
all right.
So this is another
This has
beer.
to be a beer. Yeah. Okay.
So this is the Pulp Blueberry IPA.
The what?
Pulp Blueberry IPA.
Okay. I might actually. I don't like IPAs, but I like berries, so this could be interesting.
So I don't like IPAs either, but it is very blueberry.
It's very
I get the hoppiness coming in, and it's floral.
So yeah, this
You
was
get
the.
blueberries.
I believe this was the Pulp Patriot Blueberry Double Milkshake IPA from Brewdog.
Okay, coming in a little bit more and more, the little bit of the IPA, the more of the IPA smell goes away, and you start getting that pulp note. You get a couple other things. Hey, how's
Okay,
it
on
going,
the
guys?
nose
Good to
though,
see you.
it's not just normal blueberry.
No, it's
the nose is like blueberry bubblegum.
or I was gonna go like the blueberry from like Frankenberries or like a cereal berry that's like
Yeah,
syrupy berry.
not real blueberries.
Morgan says she gets banana.
Okay, hold on here. I gotta clear my nose off.
What does she know? She's from Ohio.
Excuse me.
Land of bananas. Not forget the climate in Ohio, I hear, is absolutely perfect for blueberries.
And bananas.
No, that's what I meant. Yeah, no, it's just very tropical.
So tropical. And coconuts.
Yep.
That's her other favorite thing.
God,
Yes.
you lost it when you said it. I just blacked out because I hate coconuts are up there with black licorice. Sorry.
All right, I'm gonna ask the dork question. What's the ABV on it? So I can
103.
103 also. Okay.
So both of these are 103.
Okay.
So Morgan likes blueberries and IPAs and whiskey. So this was like her thing.
Okay.
What one are you doing next?
Mm.
Whoa!
You can have another one.
Whoa!
Do you want the rice one?
Okay.
I might.
Weird thought on this. Blueberry gin
Yeah.
Okay.
is what I get on this. I don't know.
Like barrel aged blueberry gin. I completely
Yes.
agree.
Yeah. I'd
That
agree
I-
with that.
Yeah.
Morgan, you can have anything you want from the top shelf, or the middle or bottom shelf. Take your pick.
Here.
Oh yeah, over the yeah. I mean, you're not gonna
Let's
get here in time.
see. It's a little weird looking right now because of reorganizing, but
Oh.
the Malort's over there somewhere, I think.
That's right there.
Or right there.
It's within arm's reach. Thank you very much. At all times.
I don't have enough guts to try it, so
I probably need
Oh.
some pocket Malort just in case.
We're gonna
keep
have to
it
work on
in.
that.
Look.
no. No.
You know, the taste is
Right.
way better than the smell, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Mhm.
Taste
And
is good, and you
with
know-
Malort, it's not the taste; it's the aftertaste.
Oh God, yes. Yeah. You can get it down instead it sticks around with you.
Sure.
And
And if you get some natural spirits cantaloupe cream liqueur, it'll kill that Malort.
Which is right over there.
the only
There you
thing,
go. See,
Slightly farther away than the Malort.
the only thing known to man to do so. So just keep that in mind.
Fascination Street also does it.
Mm,
Okay, well, that seems like a layering.
two things that are hard to get.
On Monday, I was drinking Malort, right? And then I was like, all right, I'm switching to Fascination Street.
Goodness.
Well, they not completely off of the same vein herbally, but I think Fascination Street would kill it.
Go ahead.
So, okay, I'm gonna have another drink of this one. Just the nose.
Love you, bye. So she stole the rice whiskey bottle and is leaving.
Fuck yeah.
Good for you, Morgan.
Yeah, Morgan. That's what I'm talking about.
Actually, that's it right there.
She's going for the couch. She's like, I'm not standing next to you. Ooh.
You peasant.
Give me my booze and I'll be gone.
You're from Kentucky.
That's also where I'm organizing my booze. And I don't know if you heard all the clanking when she went to sit down. There were like 4 bottles. It was like, click, 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 click. It was like, ooh.
Stuffed in all the cushions.
Sorry about that. All right, here.
Keep it under control, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
So last but not least,
Mm-hmm.
Dear Johnny.
Whoa.
Wait, hold on. I'm not to Dear Johnny yet. I went back to having a sip of this, and you do get a little bit of that blueberry milkshake gin. That's weird. Okay. It's neat, and the flavor profile is way more inviting than the nose.
It's kind of warm.
Hot. Fucking.
It's getting warm in here.
I'm getting drunk.
Oh God.
I'm getting drunk. Fucking hammered.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Son of a bitch.
It's like a straight jacket getting out of this.
I know. Man.
Jesus.
Oh, there we go. That's so much.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
I don't know. I'm feeling a little hot before this last, but I don't know. I still have to find the
dear.
glass. True.
Available in Mitch's merch store.
True.
I need that shirt.
You'd have a next time we have a tasting, we'll have these to sell.
God.
I got Wettle.
Oh no. I mean, that's amazing. But also, oh God.
Hold on, what happened to my white this one? I drank.
They're gonna these shirts are gonna make appearances everywhere, including Still America.
Oh.
The question is, did that happen?
Should mine say I am the Wettling or something like that?
The Wettler.
It sounds like it's a good thing that it's a 21 and over event if I wear that shirt.
He brings the Wettling.
So my nickname was Full Wettle there for a minute.
That's true.
I can actually tell you how that name started.
The Full Wettle?
The Full Wettle.
Okay, now I have heard this, so I'm going to sit back.
So before we get into Dear Johnny too far,
Dear Johnny,
the Full Wettle started from the Whiskey Sommelier School.
That's true.
And I was there, and it was my first time kind of hanging out with them. We were telling stories, and I told the story of my father. My father used to work for a vet growing up, and the vet owned a farm. And kind of one of the rules was like, hey, you take care of the horses, you can ride them whenever you want, and you can take, dates on horseback rides as like a 17-year-old and probably clean house, right? So he brought a girl out to take horseback riding, and one of the horses was really ornery. So it reared back and tried to, hoof him. And my dad, being roughly my size, was like, nope. So he grabbed the bridle and just, yanked down as hard as he could, which is incredibly painful for a horse, right? And then once the horse came down, because it was like, okay, the longer I stay up here, the more it hurts, my dad proceeded to uppercut the horse in the nose as hard as he possibly could. And the horse just stood there what was that, right? I don't want that to happen again. And Daniel Whittington went, oh my God, your dad went full Mongo on that horse, right? From Blazing Saddle. And I was like, not quite full Mongo, because the horse didn't actually fall down. And he's like, you're right, he went full Wettle. And it was just So pivoting from that, Dear Johnny.
Very nice.
Okay.
So this is his homage to Scotch whiskey.
Ooh.
You might be able to tell from the fireplace. What he does is this is his bone shaker.
Holy shit.
But he smokes apples.
What?
And throws them in with the whiskey. So he couldn't figure out how to, smoke barley, but he knew he had to smoke. Because he was like, I don't know how they do it, but I got a smoker, and apples are a big thing in Ohio. So he smokes apples and throws them into his whiskey to make Dear Johnny. And thus, Johnny Appleseed, Dear Johnny.
Okay,
which is weird on the nose. Meat.
Yeah, okay. So my thought on this, when he was homage to Scotch, this is one of the first times bringing it up to the nose, right? Where you get a lot of American stuff, where this hits, where it has that edge of meat, like that a briny, medicinal edge that I think misses from a lot of American malts. This is really interesting. It hits from far away, right? I'm an inch or two out, and you can smell that smoky. Yeah,
okay.
I would have smoked.
He's got to be smoking these apples to char. I mean, these
I
apples.
think he said he smokes them for 3 days or something like
See,
that.
yeah,
With
there's
salami wrapped around them.
smokes the hell out of these.
You know what I mean? Like, holy shit.
So yeah, when I went there, like I was talking to this guy and I was like, have you ever heard of Alan Bishop? And he was like, no. And I was like, you need to meet Alan Bishop. I was like, much less talk to him. Like, y'all should just talk.
I haven't gotten into the taste here, but this might be American Lafroig. No, I just with the hit of the nose here. All right.
Boy, two words that came to mind. I'll wait till you try it. The first two words.
Light. Or
creamy ash.
The ash part, yes. How about this? The first drink I had was incredibly lighter and more nuanced than what was blazing out of the glass at me, right? Like here, you're getting it. Getting into deep in this one is almost tough for me. And normally my nose is stuck down in it. Maybe snorted a little from time to time on accident. But holy wow. Okay, back to the flavor. Like caramel, cocoa, brown sugar, but like an ash, like you said, creamy ash layered over the top of it.
So because we did the blueberry right before this, it's pulling all the apple out. But if you reset your palate a little bit and go back into it, you will get some apple out of there.
Okay.
You're right. I guess I am pulling the sweeter blueberry note out of there now that you mention it, but I wasn't getting it. The way it drinks so much epically friendlier than what.
Oh yeah, the nose on this is like, I'm here to F you up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what
it's just like, hey, I heard you like barbecue, maybe some apples, perhaps some whiskey. Like, it's really good, man.
That's what I meant by you're getting to that Lafroig level of like nasal aggressivity that from Scotch that you don't always see from American smoky whiskeys or even smoked malts. You'll get the smoke part, but you don't get like there's a level of aggression sometimes from Scotches. You know what I mean? Yes, you do. What am I talking about?
I've drank the occasional Scotch.
Once or twice. So I was trying to go off of memory here, but I poured some of these smoked Jimmy Red because I thought, oh, okay, I'm trying to remember how strong that Jimmy Red was. And that mops the floor with that Jimmy Red as far as just the intensity of that smoke and char that's coming off of there. Two completely different. It made that Benton's Jimmy Red more much more subdued.
Yeah. Well,
I like this, but man, what a palate killer too.
Yeah, this one had to be last.
Yeah, as far as I love it. As far as an homage to Scotch and of a certain section, this is something I haven't seen in an American Scotch that hits like a Scottish Scotch.
Yeah,
an Isla punch. Like it's fucking neat.
So is this one experimental?
No, this is a core lineup. You can buy this at any time, so long as he's not out of it.
And what's the ABV on this one?
90.
Okay.
Whoa! Can we play with something bigger? Someday, you know what I mean? Holy fuck! This is cast strength.
This at cast strength would probably like pull your socks off for you.
It'd pull your socks off when you went in for the nose coming in, and then you'd get the flavor, man. It's coming up here, like it grabs the inside of my nostrils.
Yeah.
Like Talisker Storm, obviously not as super smoky and everything else, but is one of the first ones I had earlier on in that bracket where after I had it, I was like breathing out and I'm like, I think I'm breathing charcoal with my nose. Like I have a campfire like right out of my nose right now, and I'm like, you don't get this afterwards, exhaling and stuff after drinking it, but on the way in, that's the same type of effect flavor. Yeah, this is okay. That's three or four really neat ones. I was gonna say that charcoal one for me, not up my alley. But the rest of these twisted, and I don't care that one's a gin. I don't care what it's labeled.
Yeah. Go ahead. Right.
Here's
So,
my-
I mean, when we started on Pipe Dream, that is, aside from his vodka, which I didn't even try because I'm sure it tastes like great vodka, the most normal thing he makes by a long shot.
Holy cow. Okay, but I did get wettled because my one eyebrow was up a little higher than the left. My right one's starting to like trail up.
I mean, it's a good thing we didn't do all of 451 tonight, right?
That's
Well,
we could have.
Well, we tried 6, so by the time you put 6 of them in the blend glass,
Here, this one.
yeah.
I
It's
gotta make
weird. The Ginny smoked apple, creamy smoked apple is what I'm getting on the nose. A little bit of caramel.
That hops coming through though.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna need some of that rice whiskey, babe.
Oh, here you're making.
Yeah.
I'm doing
If you
a
wanted
blend.
If you wanted to know how we got these, by the way, Mitch,
Yeah.
that lady to your right.
Yes.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, they're good too. They're nice shirts. Soon to be available
You know, Lord.
at the Mitch
Oh,
Wettle store.
Yeah.
Oh my god, do not.
Get Morgan back here. Let's all do a Malort shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one. I can find it.
Come on, babe.
No,
No, you don't want to.
Rick's like, no.
It's a bad idea in the best way.
Not after all this.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I need to churn that in there right now.
Yeah, I would probably.
There was a lot of different flavors. My tongue feels, for one of the few times I really feel like I need the cantaloupe cream. Like my tongue feels weirdly wore out tonight.
So that was the
Rarely
thing. Like,
does it feel wore out, but it feels like
I could have like
stress.
progressed this differently, but I wanted everything to be as hard of a left turn as I could make it, because absolutely nothing here is really like anything else you've had anywhere else. And
No.
I really want you to feel that.
Well, no, like I said, when you were doing it, when it went from the bones shaker to the next one, which was the rice, I thought, it would get covered up, like, oh, this is going to be a weird left turn. And no, it did not. It fought it, it held its own right after that. Wow. Each of these strong, very strong, I don't want to say strong flavor profiles, but medium, bold, and kind of rich in what you were getting through. I think most of it was a rich flavor profile. Very neat, man. Holy shit. And let's tell people what else. There's one here. I'm sorry. I just got to mention it. There's like 6 more, but where is this one? Pizza Pie Pachuga.
Yeah. Pizza Pachuga. Yeah. It's his tribute to Pachuga. So for those of you who don't know what Pachuga is, it is a style of mezcal where they often hang like chicken breasts or maybe like a goat haunch in the still. And then as you distill it, it steams and all those meat juices drop down and it's a thing. And he was there like, I don't eat a lot of steamed goat or chicken. So if I was going to make a Pachuga, what would I throw in there? And his friends were like, you eat a lot of pizza. So he was like, okay. So he like threw a pizza in the still trying to make it, and it did not turn out well. So he thought about it, right? And he like reverse engineered what makes pizza taste like pizza, and he made it like a gin.
Okay.
So it's kind of, if you imagine pizza gin, only sans juniper, because juniper does not make pizza.
Yeah, but still, that's neat. I like that. Just the names on some of these. And when we were talking about the uniqueness of the labels, the names are there too. It's not standard. I don't really, like Mike and I were talking. There could have been any one of the 11 or 12 of the 16 samples you sent that was like, it could have been the whiskey. Could it be clear? I don't know. Could any one of these could be the.
I'm sorry.
No, that's actually cool though, because you're like, I don't know. Each one of these, like, has a unique meaning behind it, and where Alan's like lean towards history, these have a little different, more bold, fun twist on it. But I dig it, like Mike said, that the labels seem to match the whiskeys pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, he is an artist, like, and a good one, and not just like in art. Like distillation is his art, music is his art, art is his art.
I dig it. I don't mind the blend, even with the hops coming through.
The hops is still coming through heavily.
Yeah. But I like the nose on it, because again, it's like, this is different.
I think it's that one comes through more ginny than it does whiskey, and it torques it a bit, I'm still getting smoked. Yeah. After that, I get smoked burnt apple on the finish. Don't ask me how that comes to fruition after the combo, but that's what I'm getting on the finish.
Huh. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited about next week now. We're going to do all the clears.
Darn tootin'.
Because this is we'll knock out this episode. Then we're going to have one where we'll see. Either it's just going to be an old-fashioned combo where you get to try the Burns old-fashioned versus the Dancing Gold brandy, because they're both a brandy. The Burns is old-fashioned, is just brandy. You have to mix it with whatever. But since the Burns old-fashioned comes from Dancing Goat and is only $20, and we know that they tried to keep their brandy kind of in that same price point or below to be able to compete with Corbel. I was wondering if the flavor profiles were a little different, because one was a little more apricot. You would expect the other to kind of lean a little more classic or a different flavor note. Maybe maybe we'll reach out. Maybe we'll have Charlie on. We'll see what happens.
I'm amazed also that Morgan isn't wearing an I Got Wettled shirt right now, since she got them for y'all.
Well, did she drink 6 drinks? I think you actually have to drink 6 drinks first.
No, she just had 2.
2?
And
Yeah.
Smelled a couple more.
I mean, either
Time
that
to catch up, babe.
Yeah, got a few more. I think Neil can attest. I think it was like 15. He had the greatest method ever, though.
I mean,
Mike was
I
right
think
about
theirs was like 15, but I think y'all got like an extra 10, because I was like, oh, y'all gotta try this one too.
I was gonna say it started before we went across the street.
Yeah, that did too. I had some then. That's when I had Toledo Spirits, which will be another evening coming up at some point. We delve into their stuff. Like we said, their rums and other things are fantastic too. But if you have not tried them, or how about this? I always have like a weird reason to go to Ohio. I mean, there's Hall of Fames. There's Hall of Fames and stuff, but it never really like clicks with me like, hey, let's go to Ohio. This is interesting. If we're going to Columbus, here's a whole other reason to go. Honestly, I would mark this on the thing. This is a hell of a trip. If you were going to stop, yes, Morgan?
I was going to say, Ohio starting this summer is actually starting a distillery tour trail.
Yeah, they're starting their distillery trail this year.
Ah.
So I know 451 is on there. Toledo Spirits is on there. I think there's like 20 or so that are signed up right now to be on it. And that was as of like a month or so ago. So definitely exciting things for the Buckeye State other than, the good candy Buckeyes. So,
well, I was going to say, and you would think that there would be more and some other unique things going on. I've heard of other stuff too, and throughout Ohio and Cincinnati and other places. So I think there's definitely enough for like a map or a trail or everything. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Those are in Chicago, Mike. Those conventions are in Chicago.
Not the good ones.
Not the good ones. So I mean, all right, ladies and gentlemen.
I highly recommend 451. Highly recommend.
I like everything that we tried from tonight. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
And boy, different. Not different, but I mean, two of them were the nose and what happened were different rides. And two of them, you really had to pay attention to that. The bone shaker and the rice one, you could spend some time with either one of those. Those were super complex, man.
And apparently he has a brandy that he sells out of really fast because he does it with fresh apples, so he can only make it once a year. So have to go back sometime.
Okay. Bring a load of apples with us. Is that it?
I mean, yeah, because he had a candle with it on there, and I was like, "Man, I wish I could get this." And he's like, "Dude, it's a candle. Of course you can have it." And I was like, "No, I'm the brandy." And he's like, "Oh, sorry."
All right. Well, catch us next week where we jump into the second half of the lineup from 451. If it's anything like this, it should be fantastic. But it looks like there's some more unique things coming next week. But remember, it is not the size of the den that matters. It's the love of whiskey. Cheers, everyone. And remember, I got wettled this evening.